Legends about giants exist in various cultures around the world, and if we were to gather all of them, experts would have to explore many territories on the planet to uncover the truth. And of course, if we're going to talk about giants, we need to start with caves. Many different beings have inhabited caves for thousands of years, and who knows how many strange creatures might still live in them. In this video, we've prepared a stunning collection where the terrifying inhabitants of cliffs invite us into their unknown world. So let's begin and dive into the darkness. But before we start, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. 1. Abandoned construction. Let's start with some inanimate objects. This story might lack the mysterious aroma of antiquity, but it's no less intriguing for that. Let's fly over the mountainous terrain of Guizhou Province, China. A drone discovered a fantastic abandoned building hidden inside a massive cave. No one knows who built it or why, and there's also the question of how construction materials were transported to such an inaccessible location. That part of the terrain seems unreachable for transport vehicles and equipment. The construction was never completed, and its abandoned stone structure remains a mystery to this day. 2. The Devil's Gateway, Aramumuru. Near Lake Titicaca in Peru, amidst rugged terrain, lies a breathtaking object known by some as the Devil's Gateway. Locals call it Aramumuru. This abandoned Incan project was carved into the red sandstone at the top of a mountain and closely resembles a portal. For centuries, visitors have been drawn to its strange energy. Pilgrimages to the site seem never-ending. Everyone wants to test its ancient magical powers. And although the Catholic Church labeled the site as the Devil's Gateway, its popularity only continues to grow. 3. Ancient footprints. In 2018, researchers in British Columbia discovered a set of rather unusual human footprints. They soon determined these prints were about 13,000 years old. Scientists recreated an image of what life might have been like during that time, when people competed for territory with wild animals. A few years later, in 2021, another discovery was made in White Sands National Park in the southern United States. A set of footprints there was found to be over 21,000 years old. The most striking thing about these footprints is that they show humans had reached the southwestern United States much earlier than previously thought. Imagine someone casually stepping in the mud, and more than 20,000 years later, we're using our brains and the most modern technology to solve this mystery. 4. Frozen Arsenal. In the Judean desert lies the Ein Gedi Nature Reserve, and inside one of its ancient caves, a cache of swords was discovered, dating back approximately 1900 years. Although rusted, the swords remained intact. It's likely this was a hidden weapons stash created by Jewish rebels during their wars against the Romans. The swords were skillfully crafted and featured elegant handles made of wood and metal, probably used by well-trained warriors. The cave's climate helped preserve them in excellent condition, and the arsenal's contents have since been transferred to an Israeli museum. 5. 3D Arrowhead. In the Norwegian mountains, a group of treasure hunters discovered a relic from the Viking Age. Their attention was drawn to what appeared to be an arrowhead or spear tip, made of iron, wedged between the rocks. Its peculiarity was its unusual three-sided shape, which greatly intrigued historians. How could such a level of technical progress and creative thinking exist at that time? People of that era lived by hunting large animals, and we know little about their understanding of geometry and efficiency in weapon making. Scientists discovered that the arrowhead was still sharp. Perhaps there were skilled craftsmen among the Vikings who strove for progress, competing to create the best weapons. Egyptian mummy. Egyptian archaeologists made a remarkable discovery near Cairo. They uncovered a mummy that may be around 2,500 years old. Additionally, the mummy likely belonged to a high-ranking priest. In secret chambers, alongside the mummy, several mysterious artifacts were found, including some of the oldest Egyptian board games ever discovered, remains of dogs, and 4 jars containing the mummy's internal organs. This discovery provides us with much more information about ancient Egyptian burial practices. Did they truly believe the mummy would wake up and demand its organs back? Or perhaps, if it got bored, it would play some board games to pass the time. 7. Treasure hunt. This group of friends explored the caves of a mountain range in search of treasure, and was lucky enough to find success. Armed with Google Maps and the assumption that a great ancient civilization had left its mark there, They began digging and found several sealed clay pots. This was a true treasure, approximately 800 years old, and when they carefully opened their find, they discovered various accessories that told the story of a civilization. There were metalwork and handcrafted items, and the level of skill was so impressive that some doubted whether an ancient culture could have created such high-quality decorations or if the video was merely staged. 8. Pale crawlers. Many treasures are hidden in caves, but even more creatures live there, and not all can be identified. Now let's see which of them resemble ancient animals and which resemble malevolent spirits. Some tourists are drawn to Europe not for its cozy hotels and comfortable linens, but for its eeriest spots. This individual couldn't wait to venture into a cave located about 2 miles, 3 kilometers, from the town of Hallstatt, Austria. Amid breathtaking landscapes, the tourists' excitement turned into astonishment when they noticed a strange pale figure climbing up to the ceiling of the cave. It looked like a lizard, but the creature also somewhat resembled a tiny humanoid. Commentators on the video suggested it was some kind of unidentified creature, while others called it a cave spirit. What do you think? 9. Dragon. A brave man wandering through a cave stumbled upon strange eggshells and fragments of bones that looked like parts of a skeleton. Not daring to touch them, he nudged them with his foot, but couldn't determine what kind of animal they belonged to. Confused, the poor explorer turned around, and suddenly, a giant horned beast appeared from behind a rock. Screaming in fear, the man fled, but he managed to film the creature. It looked very much like a dragon from fairy tales, and if it were one, where else would it live but in an isolated cave? The strange part is that it hid instead of attacking its visitor. Could it have been a stray goat? What do you think? 10. Cave worm. The journey of these two friends into a cave took a strange turn when they suddenly found themselves in a tight spot. They nearly got stuck at the bottom of a narrow passage. This already didn't look good, but they were completely unprepared for what they were about to see next. We've seen enough horror movies, but now we can confirm that mythical creatures are inspired by real species. A terrifying creature, legless and wingless but dragon-like, slithered out of the darkness. It resembled beings mentioned in some scary legends. It's no surprise this video caused quite a stir on the internet. Thousands of viewers were shocked, while others speculated it might be a CGI trick. But what about you? Do you believe such worms could live in narrow, dark, rocky corridors like this one? 11. Ancient crab. A YouTuber from New Zealand accidentally made a phenomenal discovery. His attention was drawn to an impressive rock resembling an ancient artifact. He decided to take it home to check what kind of fossil it was. The man was astounded as he uncovered the surprise awaiting him. It was a big one. It took him a total of 208 hours to clean the contents of the rock, but the effort brought him immense joy. After removing about 35 pounds, 16 kilos of stone, he uncovered a 12-million-year-old fossil of an ancient giant crab that lived during the Miocene period, weighing approximately 16 pounds, 7.25 kilos in its fossilized form. I wonder, how long could that crab have lived? 12. Prehistoric crocodile. A research team working in Tunisia noticed a bone protruding from the ground in an area they had just begun to explore. After conducting an excavation, they uncovered fossils of a massive prehistoric reptile, presumably a previously unknown species of marine crocodile that lived during the Jurassic period, about 130 million years ago. The animal's skull alone measured over 3 feet, 1 meter. Multiply that by as much as you like and imagine the length of the entire body. Such crocodiles roam the planet, and since their final resting place was sand, this can mean only one thing. There must have been a sea in that area long ago. 13. Utah giants. In the U.S. state of Utah, there's even a name for a creature resembling a yeti, a giant biped covered in dark fur, Bigfoot or Sasquatch. It's like a regional variant of the supposed wild monster species. Some deer hunters in Utah's mountainous area encountered a curious sight. They managed to film a huge dark figure that clearly stood out against the golden sand background. After comparing the footage to average-sized people, the hunters were horrified to realize they had seen something otherworldly. What's most interesting is that sightings of giants in this area don't seem unusual. Several similar reports have been made before. 14. The snowman. Not long ago, visitors to a Spanish resort in the Pyrenees Mountains encountered an unusual mountain inhabitant. Near the summit, Their camera captured a creature resembling a giant snowman, and the tourists were eager to share what they saw with the world. However, as the footage was brief and blurry, it sparked a flood of questions. Yeti enthusiasts and skeptics began debating. There isn't much material, but here we see the mysterious creature turning its head toward the camera. So, what do you think? Could it have been a resort employee in a costume? Despite investigations, Spanish authorities have yet to find additional evidence. 15. Anti-witch marks. Now let's explore some mysterious ancient artifacts. Caves have always been shrouded in mystery. Their purpose is to hide secrets, and sometimes those secrets can be frightening. Inside the Creswell Crags Caves in the United Kingdom, there's a true museum. Beyond the peculiar landscape, there are also ancient messages carved into the rocks. The walls and ceilings of the caves are covered with strange symbols, as if someone decided to leave their memories there. When historians deciphered these symbols, they got goosebumps. The writings weren't just ancient scribbles, but actual spells. These are hundreds of symbols containing magical formulas against witchcraft, known as anti-witch marks. The symbols were meant to ward off evil spirits and witches. This clearly shows how superstitious early Britons were. The inscriptions mainly featured the Latin initials of Jesus and images of the Virgin Mary. 16. Werewolf. Intrigued by an abandoned mine with tracks leading deep into the mountain, a couple of tourists decided to explore a dark cave nestled among the rocks. Although the entrance was barred with a metal grate to keep out the curious, they still wanted to see if they could find anything there. Their ears caught a rustling sound, and they tensely stared into a dark opening, but saw nothing. Relieved, the couple decided to leave, but suddenly, glowing eyes appeared in the darkness. It happened very quickly, causing fear and panic. Look closely. The eyes are at a relatively high level. It's unclear what they could belong to. It's unlikely that an ordinary animal would live in such a place, but who knows? The couple claims that they encountered a werewolf that day. 17. Eyes in the cave. Exploring an unknown place can be both thrilling and terrifying. Take a look at this story. Sometimes ordinary things seem fantastical, but how can we tell the difference? Researchers who dared to visit this cave at night spotted a pair of eyes, a silent watcher gazing at them through a crevice. In the dark, even a cat can be frightening, but judging by the distance between the eyes, one could assume it was a wolf, a panther, or a bear. All three options are convincing enough to command attention. The creators of the video wisely left the location after filming the mysterious eyes. Who knows how many seconds separated them from their fate? 18. Giant's Lair. In 2016, a natural monument in Northern Ireland known as the Giant's Causeway caused quite a stir in the media. Supposedly, a video captured images of a massive stone door closing within the rocks. Like something out of a fairy tale, a piece of rock opened and shut before the astonished eyes of tourists. The footage was taken with a cell phone camera. Supernatural enthusiasts speculated that a giant was retreating into hibernation. Experts examined every stone but found no evidence of cracks or a chamber within the rock. Could the video have been a hoax? Or should they have knocked harder on the door to see if anyone would answer? 19. Figure in the tunnel. If you can determine whether a silhouette belongs to otherworldly forces or mythical heroes, here's a riddle for you. A group of friends was enjoying a walk through ancient tunnels, not expecting company. Suddenly, in the beam of a flashlight, you can see a figure briefly illuminated, darting quickly from one corridor to another. Due to the darkness, it was hard to make out details, but it was definitely a bipedal creature. If you brighten the footage, you'll see a pale humanoid figure. And if caves are just apartments without plumbing or electricity, maybe those who don't need utilities live there? 20. Lima Mummy. Peruvian scientists discovered a large temple structure during an excavation, built in the shape of a U and facing the rising sun. Ancient mummies were preserved in stone tombs at the site. They likely belonged to an ancient Peruvian culture that lived in the Lima Valley. Archaeologists also reported that the burials appeared to have been done at the last moment during the temple's construction. Could it have been a ritual sacrifice? 21. Nephilim giants. Giants, or Nephilim, were mentioned in the Bible as the offspring of angels who, after marrying earthly women, the daughters of Cain, spread giants across the world. A video allegedly showing a giant was filmed by locals in Thailand. A massive figure appears at the top of a mountain. The mist obscures a clearer view, but there were multiple witnesses. All claim to have seen a huge humanoid figure. Perhaps you've seen something similar. Share your experiences in the comments. 22. Figure on the mountain in Utah. This footage was captured in the capital of Utah, Salt Lake City. A mysterious, dark silhouette was filmed against the backdrop of twilight clouds. The human-like figure stood silently on a rock, fueling rumors of aliens and supernatural phenomena, both not uncommon in Utah. It's unlikely to be a hermit living in the mountains, as the rugged terrain would be unsuitable for human habitation. So, the question remains, what could it be? 23. Fingerprints on the rocks. Next, we'll explore more discoveries, possibly made by celestial beings. In the middle of the Red Desert in the United States lies a white mountain. This remarkable site is located in Wyoming and is famous for the carvings on its mountain faces. At its summit, sharp impressions of enormous hands are preserved. The mountain is at least 1,000 years old, but these handprints remain a mystery. Everything suggests they were made when the stone was still soft like pliable clay. Hundreds of people climb this mountain daily to view the carvings. It's truly one of the most incredible places for a high-altitude adventure. 24. Adam's footprint. In Sri Lanka, there's a peak known as Adam's Peak. Rising over 6,500 feet, 2,000 meters, above sea level, it is one of the island's main attractions. At the summit lies one of nature's most inexplicable marks, a footprint in stone with 5 distinct toes, but of giant proportions. Locals call it Adam's footprint. But could it really be the footprint of an actual giant? Shouldn't the second footprint be on the ground somewhere? The question remains unanswered as thousands of people from all over the world make the long trek to the top to see it for themselves and ponder their own questions about the universe. 25. Babu's rescue. A young man named Babu was climbing a hill in the Indian state of Kerala with his friends, but he was less fortunate than the others. He slipped and fell. On the other hand, he was somewhat lucky too. Babu managed to grab hold of a rock and got stuck on a narrow ledge of the cliff. After several failed rescue attempts involving locals and police, he spent 2 days there. His position was quite precarious, as the mountain's weather conditions were unfavorable. Finally, soldiers were brought in to assist. Fortunately, they managed to reach Babu, bringing him water and helping him climb safely back to the surface. 26. Alien in the cave. What if an alien had to stay on Earth and hide in caves? If such a thing exists, it might look like this. Imagine a creature with a huge skull, long, bony arms, and deep-set eyes. This chilling event was filmed in the Philippines several years ago. No one knows the video's author or its exact date, but it's also unclear what happened next. The creature appeared to be defending its cave from people and fled in fear. However, there's not a single follow-up report, except that locals avoid visiting that cave. 27. Giants in Peru. A family of tourists traveling through the mountainous region of Peru encountered something incredible atop a mountain. Their camera captured 2 giant humanoid figures. The figures were on the summit and were definitely not ordinary humans. There's another video for comparison, showing average height human figures, making the size difference plainly visible even from a great distance. Many became fixated on the idea that this could only be a pair of aliens. Due to the poor video quality, nothing can be confirmed. Only speculated. Admit it, you thought they were extraterrestrials too, didn't you? 28. Alien gymnastics. A video posted a few months ago left many people intrigued. A giant, yet very thin, long-legged figure was captured on video doing push-ups atop a hill. This made viewers wonder about its identity. The movements resembled ordinary exercises, but the physique matched descriptions of a yeti. Another argument: if the creature doesn't belong to the human race, why would it need to do push-ups? What do you think? 29. Giant in Mexico. A massive human-like figure atop the mountains in Mexico was spotted by the naked eye by hundreds of witnesses. Despite the region's tendency towards supernatural interpretations, it was easy for them to view the giant as a harbinger of something terrible. People screamed in fear, believing the end of the world had arrived and the dark figure on the mountain was its herald. Given Mexico's strong ties to the supernatural, from indigenous rituals to Day of the Dead carnivals, it might seem nothing could scare or surprise its population. Yet perhaps this is one of life's enduring mysteries in the country. 30. The Black Giant. Giant humanoids are extraordinary creatures, but some videos can convince even the most skeptical viewers. Take a look at what these people managed to film during an ordinary trip. Their camera captured a strange figure atop a mountain, again in Mexico. One eyewitness debated whether it was a person or not. Despite the frustratingly blurry footage, we cannot deny this is something atypical for nature, even atop a mountain. Clearly, there's a presence of something. The question is, who or what? 31. Giant in a Mexican cave. Now we come to a story that sparked an online firestorm of debate. The individuals who submitted this footage from Mexico claim to have seen a living humanoid giant peering out of a cave. Naturally, the video's creators were accused of hoaxing, as the footage was too blurry for detailed investigation. However, there are supporters denying it's fake. After all, the height of the cave and the lack of curiosity make for perfect conditions. Let's leave the debate open. If you want to weigh in on whether this is a real giant or a hoax, share your opinion in the comments. 32. Lion in the cave. The idea of exploring caves can be risky. You never know what's lurking in the dark or behind the rocks. Any adventure could cost you your life, so it's best not to venture alone into unexplored places. The man in this video entered a narrow cave but wasn't prepared to encounter a lioness resting there. Fortunately, he spotted her glowing eyes in time. The beast was ready to attack, even from an unfavorable position. He was lucky not to face the lioness head-on. Otherwise, this story might have had a grim ending. 33. Trapped dogs. Sometimes real life is worth more than all the treasures in the world because you can't put a price on it. A regular tourist was enjoying the scenic landscapes of Arizona when he noticed something strange in the area. Two young dogs were looking at him from a crack in the mountain. They seemed confused, likely having gotten stuck while searching for a way out. The sight melted the tourist's heart, and despite the risk, he descended the slope with a rope and brought the dogs back up with him. They didn't bite their rescuer, but behaved very gently and without fear. Afterward, he took the poor pups to a veterinarian and soon found them a new owner. For this story's hero, the vacation turned into an unforgettable rescue mission. That's all for today. Thanks for watching another video on our channel.